Oh, this is decidedly not for mics, but yeah, I mean, it was a pretty big hit. Hello, and welcome to the EuroWhat, episode 294, dropping on March 3rd, 2026. We are a pair of Americans trying to make sense of the Eurovision Song Contest. I'm Mike McComb, and I'm here with my co-host, Ben Smith. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Mike.
In this episode, we'll be talking about Poland's history at Eurovision. How's it going, Ben?
Pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, like this weekend was a lot. So many selections and finals and TV shows. It was, I feel like I'm out of practice. So.
Yeah, like I did the full San Remo experience this week, so I've just sort of been letting that wash over me for like 5 to 6 hours every day.
Oh, man. Yeah, do you have the San Remo, clap, clap playing in
just
a loop?
Burned in my brain.
Yeah.
just caught myself a couple times during the week just sort of involuntarily doing the clap clap when it would come on.
Yeah, I only caught the Saturday portion of it, and that was after UMK, and it was still 17 hours of television.
I love switching over from a 2-hour efficient process to a process where it's like, okay, we are on artist 12 of 30, and currently we just cut over to a second guest performer in a row.
Yeah, good times. Italy never change.
Never change.
Yeah. So coming up this weekend will be Poland's national final, and they've actually already recorded their national final and have opened up voting. But they'll be broadcasting it on Saturday. Voting will still be open through Saturday, and then they'll be announcing the winner on Sunday. So this seemed like a good time to look at Poland at the contest, because this is another one of the countries that we haven't really talked about much at Eurovision. They debuted in the contest in 1994, where they finished in second place, so pretty good debut. This year will be their 28th time competing at Eurovision. They managed to avoid relegation up until the year 2000. They were relegated again in 2002, and they ended up skipping 2012 and 2013 for reasons we will get into. In terms of language stuff with their entries, since returning in 2014, all of their entries have either been fully English or Polish with English components. So taking full advantage of the free language rule. Their last fully Polish entry was in 2011, which was Jestem by Magdalena Tool. And that one finished last in the semifinal that year, which I don't. Do you remember this entry?
No.
Oh, maybe that's why it finished last.
Maybe that's why it finished. No.
Yeah, I mean, I 2011 was the first contest that I was like covering as a blogger, so I think I'm a little biased towards the overall field. But like looking back at this performance during the research for this episode, it's really good. It just was not like, it opened the show. It really is not a show opener type song. And it was a performance that I remember watching it on the day and being like, oh, this is getting swallowed by the stage. It just looked like ants running around on a plate. And when they were like doing the like big arena shots, and yeah, it just kind of got lost there, and I think people just ended up forgetting about it by the end of the show, which is unfortunate. But interestingly enough, Magdalena Tool is going to be competing in San Marino this year.
Oh, San Marino never stopped just being the weirdest grab bag of names.
Yeah. So good luck to her. I hope she enjoys meeting Boy George.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah, I just saw everybody talking about Sunit earlier this week. Like, what happened now? And
yeah.
I was not expecting a Boy George jump scare.
Yep. San Marino gonna San Marino. Anyway, Poland, they were, of course, like sending fully Polish entries through 1999 because them's the rules. But they've pretty much been either English or a hybrid of language ever since the free language rule was in place. And that also includes like Spanish, German, Russian. Like they played a little bit in the language pool. Poland has had 3 top 10 entries in 1994, of course, because they finished in second place there. In 2003, Ich Troja with Keine Grenzen Zadnich Granic. That's one of the German hybrids. That one also finished in the top 10. And then in 2016, Michael Spack's Color of Your Life, which is currently the entry that has earned Poland the most points at a single contest. That is one that has held up surprisingly well, I feel.
Agreed.
Poland has really kind of struggled in the semifinal era. They got top 11 in 2003, which meant that they auto-qualified in 2004. They would not qualify through a semifinal until 2008. And then their next qualification wasn't until 2014. So it fits in spurts, I think would be the best way to describe Poland in this current era. They had a pretty good run from 2014 to 2017. They qualified, but then they did not return to the final again until 2022. They've been in an okay spot. They missed qualifying back in 2024, but other than that, like they're making it to the final more recently. Just kind of looking at the like sort of hopscotchness of their qualifying record. I was just trying to think of what are Poland's strengths in the contest. And I think one of the things that Poland does really well is making a big splash when they walk into the room. So of course, like 1994, they finished in second place. And the way that relegation was working in the latter part of the 90s, it was based on your average number of points from the previous 5 contests. If you finish in second place, that means you have a lot of points. So they were able to kind of ride that wave all the way through 1999. The problem hit in 2000 when the 1994 results rolled off of that 5-year average, and Poland kind of had diminishing returns there. So, they ended up getting relegated for that contest, and then just kind of had to like white knuckle it until it got to the semifinal era. But then, the semifinal era again has not been too kind to them. 2011, I mentioned that they started the show, but were kind of swallowed by the stage. So they ended up taking 2012 and 2013 off, probably to kind of retool and figure out what their strategy is. Cause it's just like, all right, we're not qualifying. We just finished like last. What are we going to do? They took a couple years off and were brought back in 2014, kind of like how a number of the countries were brought back this year, where like EBU really kind of needed to goose their participation numbers a little bit. So maybe cutting some deals, offering assistance, that sort of thing. Poland returns in 2014 with Slavic Girls. I would not describe as one of Poland's more subtle entries.
No.
Yeah, like, how would you describe Slavic Girls as an entry?
As an entry, extremely tasteful.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, just sort of, really leaning into just sort of national pride. Basically, just hello, here are beautiful Polish women doing laundry and churning butter in an extremely sexual way.
Yeah. So, like thinking about it, like we didn't have this term at the time, but this is probably their most like folklore and rock and roll entry.
Yes.
And it was also like based on like this song had already kind of gone viral. I think it was kind of like a viral video clip. And it's a strategy that like surprised a lot of other countries have not adopted. And maybe it's just because of the way the Eurovision timeline works. But it seems like, if you have something that is like extremely viral, that is probably a way to really get quick televote points. I don't know. But this was maybe not for like an audience for me necessarily, But yeah, I think there are some people in the audience that were served by this particular entry. But yeah, I think it was also a case of like people were now like Poland is back. Poland has made a statement. Poland has made a splash, and now like paying attention to what they're bringing to the table. And yeah, it's like still managing to qualify for the final, but again, kind of diminishing returns as it's going along. And then they missed qualifying in 2019. I think 2019, Paliche was an attempt to kind of like be like another splash. It didn't quite work though. Part of it was there were some like voting discrepancies in 2019 with like some jurors like voting up instead of voting down, or like and like the whole thing of like spreadsheet sorting. Like there was just like a lot of mess that was happening at the Scrivener's table. There was a lot of speculation that had the votes been tabulated correctly, Poland would have qualified. Of course, 2020, nothing happened. 2021, we get Rafal and The Ride, and just like this like overwhelming Tron performance display where it's like a very goofy song, but a lot of visuals going on there. But 2022 and River by Achman. I think is the beginning of the smash all the buttons era for Poland.
Yeah, it's just we have Windows Movie Maker Pro and we have used every setting. Exactly.
Yes. And but again, I think it's making a big splash that I'm arguing that Poland does very well. River qualifies and kind of starts a streak of maximalist presentation with some pretty decent pop songs. Listening back to River while researching this, it's like, oh, did this kind of predict JJ in a way where it's just like, oh, you have an opera singer hitting some high notes, some, I don't know, just like nonsense lyrics for the most part. But and I'm kind of wondering if their presentation last year, Gaia, if this is the end stage of the smash all the buttons era, or if Poland made a new splash last year. I'm leaning more towards the end stage piece of it, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out after this weekend's national final, like where the Polish populace is at.
Yes,
so.
I mean, I just got done watching Chris Fleming's new comedy special. He has a bit about how Trader Joe's has snacks that only women can see. And I'm just like, does Poland have access to in-camera visual effects that none of the other nations know about?
Possibly. Yeah. Since the 2022 contest videos are geo-blocked, the first video that I saw was their live-to-tape performance, and that one had just as many of the in-camera effects, and it's like, oh, I thought those weren't allowed in the live-to-tape ones. So, lots of lightning strikes. So... but I think the other thing that Poland is very good at, I actually have in my notes, very, very good in all caps, producing adult contemporary, easy listening, radio friendly tracks. I think of like our discussion of Solo, their 2023 entry, and how we kind of described it as hotel art. I think adult contemporary is the hotel art of radio formats. And that was a song like that finished third in its semifinal. That is the best that Poland has ever done in a semifinal. It's a goofy song, but it was very effective. 2016, as I mentioned, holds up incredibly well. Which in 2016, I would not have predicted that. But again, that's because I don't actively listen to adult contemporary outside of Eurovision context. So, and that is a song that has appeared on the ESC 250 8 times. So it will probably reach iconic status in the next couple of years. Their 1997 entry, Ale Jestem. That became iconic in 2025. And that is one, like, listening back to it, it's like, oh, like, especially on the heels of our 1998 Grammys discussion over on Patreon. That is smack in the middle of, like, what is on the radio at that point.
Yeah, well, and, like, I remember thinking of 2016 Color of Your Life as being, like, very Michael Bolton. But you know who makes a very decent living for himself? Yes, Connecticut's entry for the American Song Contest, Michael Bolton.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hair included. So
yeah. Yep.
Their very first entry, Tony Ya by Edita Gorniak. It's also iconic on the ESC 250 list. It's the country's best placement at Eurovision. And that's kind of where I want to focus my energy for the rest of this episode, because it's kind of a wild ride in describing, like, kind of how Poland approaches the contest today. But before we get into the song Tony Ya, I want to mention some songs we will be talking about over on Patreon, specifically the nominees for Best Original Song at this year's Academy Awards. We'll be joined by past guest and super film buff Evan Stewart to go through the nominees and talk about the movies ahead of the Oscars.
Head on over to patreon.com/EuroWhat to join the EuroWhat AV Club so you can get that bonus episode and our library of previous bonus episodes. If financial support is not an option at the moment, you can still sign up for our free monthly newsletter, where you can find out about future episodes, a calendar of upcoming North American Eurovision alumni tour dates, and musings from Mike and I. All that is at patreon.com/EuroWhat. We got, like, that guitar lick in there.
Yeah, it's very Delilah.
Yes. Real sultry.
Yes. So, that is Tony Ya, Poland's 1994 entry. And the story of that song actually begins in 1984. Stanislav Surevich is a composer who primarily works in TV and film. I actually went through his filmography to see if anything jumped out, and the only one that jumped out at me was a 1998 TV movie version of Crime and Punishment that starred Ben Kingsley. Have you seen this version?
No.
Okay, yeah, so in my 12th grade English class, we read Crime and Punishment and ended up watching the TV movie afterwards in class, because that's what we do in U.S. schools. And they took a lot of liberties from the original text and, like, kind of changed some story components. I mean, like, it happens with any adaptation. One of my friends got called out of class the day that we were watching the end of the movie. Like, she had to go, like, see her guidance counselor or something, and caught up with her at lunch later that day. She's like, oh yeah, so, like, how did the movie end up finishing? And I decided to play a little joke and just give a totally different ending than, like, what happens in the book and what happens in the film. Like, the film got the ending of the book correct, but I was like, oh yeah, like, you know how they just got everything wrong? He just, like, goes on this, like, random killing spree at the end. It was, like, bananas. And apparently she had a scholarship interview later that day, and they were talking about, like, so, like, what books are you reading in your classes? And we're talking about that, and she had mentioned the ending that I gave her rather than the ending of the book, which I don't think she had gotten to yet. And I don't think she got that scholarship. She's fine. She's, like, a computer engineer. She's doing her thing. Hi, Aaron. Anyway, Stanislav Surevich, he composed a track called No One Said It Was Easy. And this was intended for the band Chicago. And their album Chicago 17. It got so far that they even, like, recorded a demo of the song. Chicago ultimately passed on it. And Chicago 17, this is the album that spawned the hit You're the Inspiration, which is like the like adult contemporary staple.
Yes. Somebody on Blue Sky recently posted the video of like one of those compilation CD ads that were just a constant presence on 90s cable of like the Ultimate Love Songs collection. I'm pretty sure that was part of the lineup.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. Speaking of Delilah, yes.
Yeah, speaking of Delilah, speaking of Michael Bolton.
Yep. So it's just like, oh, this is decidedly not for Mike's. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty big hit. It's one of their signature tracks, particularly like 80s era Chicago. But anyway, no one said it was easy. That song was shelved. TVP, Poland's broadcaster, they were part of the wave of countries joining the EBU in 1993. They had been broadcasting Eurovision on and off since 1965, so like they were definitely interested in participating. Didn't really jump at the chance to compete in 93, just because there was a lot going on at that time, as we have mentioned in several episodes just this season. 94, they're just like, okay, we're going to compete. And TVP initially chose the singer Edyta Bartoszewicz to be their representative. She's a rock singer, like incredibly successful, like incredibly early in her career too. Like she was like an instant sensation. She said no. She's like, yeah, like Eurovision's just really not on my career trajectory. She's more of a rock singer, so I can totally...
Yeah, like it's an era of the contest for like, no, we would like adult contemporary, please.
Yeah, she passed, and TVP's just like, oh, okay, what's the next Edyta that we have in our Rolodex? So they go to the next one alphabetically, Edyta Gorniak. Edyta Gorniak is a musical theater actress who kind of got her start on TV talent shows and at music festivals. Just before Eurovision, she had finished third in the Baltic Song Contest, which is an event that was held in Sweden. So yeah, she had the chops. Edyta, even though she was like quite young at this time, like early 20s, she plays hardball. Yeah, like just reading up on it, it's like, oh yeah, she really does not mess around. She did not like the song that TVP wanted her to use, and she had her manager try to find some alternate songs to possibly go to the contest with. And her manager ended up connecting with Stanislav Serovich. He ended up pulling up the track that he had demoed for Chicago. Edyta didn't really like this one either, but she was like, okay, maybe if we bring in a new lyricist, he can come in, take a swing at it. That was kind of a lengthy process. Like one of the drafts, the title like loosely translated to Burning Marionette, and it was going to be kind of referencing Poupée de cire, Poupée de sang in its presentation.
Yeah.
But it's just no. The song needs to be in Polish because of the contest rules, but she wanted something where the meaning of the song would come through for people who don't speak Polish. And I think from the clip that we listened to, like that kind of comes through. I mean, that is the one thing about adult contemporary. The themes are not overly complex most of the time. While all this is happening, the clock is ticking. Like, TVP needs to have an entry for this contest that has been scheduled. But Edyta is going to walk if she doesn't get her way on this. So TVP is just like, okay, fine, we'll do the song that you want to do. And they end up announcing Edyta and Tony Ya, which translates to It Wasn't Me, on April 16th. Eurovision 1994 was taking place on April 30th. So 2-week turnaround time.
2 weeks.
Yeah, that absolutely would not happen today. Like there was like a 10-week gap between like end of selection season and the actual contest. But rehearsals start on April 25th. So just a little more than a week from when the song is announced to like when she has to start like performing it for realsies. And TVP is still trying to get her to switch back to the song that they picked initially. It's like, no, please.
Incredible.
Yeah, please. And she's like, no. So rehearsals start on April 25th. And kind of same format that we have now, just like not as drawn out because there's not as much tech that is happening at these tech rehearsals. Like there's no pyro at the 94 contest.
Yeah, we don't have to make sure that the stage crew can assemble your little panini press in 90 seconds.
Right. I'm not even sure if there are screens. I've only seen the 94 contest in these clips that we've been pulling up, so I've not seen the full stage.
I have seen enough of like this fake cityscape where I'm like, oh yeah, this is where they've hidden the stack of TVs.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, like but it's still like a week of practice before the actual show. And there were 3 full dress rehearsals before the live show. It's not like today where one of the rehearsals actually counts for points or anything, but at the final dress rehearsal, where the jury is present, during the second half of the song, Edita just switches to the English lyrics for the song, which you're not supposed to do that when there's not a free language rule. She claims that she was ill at the time, and singing in English was less of a strain on her voice, which I'm not entirely sure I buy that logic. And I did end up finding an interview that she did just a couple of years ago for the 30th anniversary of Poland's debut, where she's just like, oh yeah, that was fully intentional. So girl plays hardball. Respect. So
yes,
other delegations were big mad about this because it's like, yeah, the jury heard a not eligible version of the song and they tried to get Poland disqualified. The EBU, and like this may have been the rules. I was not able to find a copy of the 94 rules, but yeah, they're just like, yeah, sorry, you need 13 delegations to be big mad. Like 6 is not enough. That may be a precedent that is still in place today. I don't know if that's official policy, but Anyway, goes on to perform at Eurovision, not disqualified, and the song received points from everyone except for Sweden, Greece, and Spain. So yeah, great job there. Ended up finishing second. It was not a close second place, though. Like, she was down by about 60 points. But the song would go on to be one of the biggest hits of the year in Poland. The English version was titled Once in a Lifetime, which is also the name of the B-side to Chicago's You're the Inspiration, which I thought was like a very interesting coincidence. I don't know how much intention there was behind that, but this was the best placement for a debut country at the contest. And that's a record that still may hold depending on how you count Serbia debuting, because like technically as an independent country, Serbia debuted with Molitva, so ended up winning, but like Serbia had been at the contest with Montenegro and as part of Yugoslavia, so yeah, a little gray area, but at the time, 1994, fantastic debut for a country. As I mentioned, starting in 1997, relegation was based on an average score from the previous 5 contests, so that ended up giving Poland a lot of time to just kind of snack on those points and continue to be at the contest, even though the results weren't always great. It was either like mid-table or lower. And then in 2000, those diminished returns ended up catching up with them, and they were relegated for that contest. Edita has gone on to try a few more times to represent Poland at the contest, and she has been a jury member for their national final. Most notably, her presence kind of caused controversy in 2023 because there were allegations that her son and the eventual winner, Blanca, were acquainted. And yeah, it just kind of turned into a big mess. And there was like other voting inconsistencies. But Blanca did very well at the contest. Well, I mean, she did well in the semifinal. When it got to the final, it ended up being mid-table. But Poland got to the final, and that's kind of what's important. This controversy may have contributed to Poland going internal for 2024, and they've been 100% public vote last year and this year, and they may do that for the foreseeable future, kind of going through their history of national selections. They've tended to be mostly 100% public vote. There have been times where they have had a jury component as well, but yeah, there just hasn't been any sort of correlation between format and success at the contest, particularly that range in the 2000s where like they just were not getting through. I think Poland is an interesting country to watch. I think they have their finger on maybe not the pulse, but they have their finger on a pulse, and things that they are trying are adopted either more successfully by other countries, or maybe it's just like a case of like right song, wrong year or something. But I appreciate their presence in the contest because they are going to do something interesting. They are going to try to make a big splash. And if they do make that big splash, it will serve them well for the years that follow.
I'm currently just sort of scrolling through their previous entries and like, yes, like we have been sort of like in their push all of the buttons era. But that has generally been working for them.
Yeah, they get a sense of how to use the stage to its fullest. And I think maybe that's what I appreciate about them most. These stages are incredible, but if you're just going to like stand there and park and bark, which was the style at the time in the mid 90s, like, yeah, if you're really good at producing adult contemporary tracks like that is exactly what you need to do. But adopting the maximalist approach when you have a giant canvas to work with, it's like, all right, have fun with it. Bring that Edita hardball energy and see how that works. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the EuroWhat. Thanks for listening. The EuroWhat podcast is hosted by Mike McComb, that's me, and Ben Smith.
That's me. You can find our full archive of episodes on our website at EuroWhat.com. For our free newsletter and more info about the EuroWhat AV Club bonus podcast, check us out at patreon.com/EuroWhat.
Next time on the EuroWhat, Romania has returned to Eurovision, and Ben will walk us through their history at the contest.